This traditional map of North African history looks like a conveyor belt of foreign occupiers: Phoenicians, Romans, Vandals, Byzantines, Arabs, sweeping in to paint their colors over the coastline. But look beneath the borders. Controlling the deep interior was nearly impossible for any distant capital. To hold this territory, foreign powers had to rely on the cooperation of those who already lived here. These were the Imazighen, known to history as Berbers. This rock art in the Algerian desert dates back thousands of years before the first Roman ships ever crossed the Mediterranean. Far from being passive subjects, the Imazighen functioned as the military arbiters of the region. They were the necessary allies who determined which Mediterranean superpowers could maintain a presence on the continent. The real history of the Maghreb isn't found in the temporary flags of its invaders, but in the specific choices of its indigenous power brokers. The city-state of Carthage built its wealth here, but it was an extractive relationship. They demanded a quarter of all local crops as tribute and frequently forced North African farmers into their front lines. When Rome challenged Carthage for control of the sea, the Berber King Masinissa saw an opportunity to redefine the region. He shifted his allegiance away from the Punic aristocrats and joined the invading Roman legions. He provided Rome with the Numidian cavalry, specialized light horsemen who could outmaneuver any standard infantry. Their arrival at the Battle of Zama shattered the Carthaginian lines and ended Carthage's status as a world power. Centuries later, the Byzantine Empire attempted to reassert control through a division called the Exarchate of Africa. Like the Romans before them, they found that their authority was only as strong as their local alliances. In 647, the Exarch Gregory attempted to break away from the Byzantine emperor to form his own kingdom. To protect his claim, he relied on an army of over 100,000 Almoravid troops. When the first Arab Islamic forces arrived shortly after, a Berber leader named Kusaila formed a coalition with the remaining Byzantine forces. Their decisive victory at the Battle of Vescera forced a retreat to Egypt, delaying the conquest of the region for an entire decade. Time and again, the survival of a Mediterranean administration in Africa depended on whether it could secure the support of the Amazigh people. By 698, the Arab Umayyad Caliphate finally took Carthage, ending the Byzantine presence and beginning a long process of cultural and religious shift. But the regional leverage hadn't changed. As the new Islamic Empire looked toward Europe, the converted Berbers became the critical vanguard of their western expansion. This map shows the invasion of the Iberian Peninsula in 711. The force that crossed the strait was led by Tariq ibn Ziyad, a Berber commander. Records indicate that the majority of the troops who won this territory for the Caliphate were themselves Berbers. Despite their military success, the Berbers faced systemic discrimination from the Arab elite. In 740, this sparked a widespread rebellion that fractured the Islamic Empire. The rebellion permanently cut off the Caliphate's central authority from the West. In the power vacuum, the Imazighen founded their own ruling dynasties, like the Almoravids and Almohads, who would govern North Africa and Spain for centuries. They proved that while willing to expand an empire, they were just as capable of dismantling one that failed to treat them as equals. Today, that legacy lives on in the mountains and deserts that served as their historical strongholds. There are an estimated 25 to 36 million people today who identify as Amazigh. Concentrated populations remain in Morocco and Algeria, with vibrant communities stretching into Mali, Niger, and across the globe. They have maintained their indigenous languages and customs despite millennia of pressure to assimilate into the cultures of Rome, Damascus, or Paris. While foreign writers often called them Berbers, their own word is Imazighen. It is a term that translates to the free people. The empires of Carthage, Rome, and the Byzantines have long since receded into ruin, but the Imazighen remain exactly where they have always been.